Life can be full of challenges, but it's how we face them that defines us. In today's story, we'll meet Jimmy, a hardworking single father doing everything he can to raise his 2 children after losing his wife. From quiet mornings filled with love to days of hardship and uncertainty, Jimmy's journey will show us the power of resilience, kindness, and unexpected support. Stay with us to discover how Jimmy's determination and a little help from an unlikely friend turn his life around. Let's dive into this heartwarming and motivational story. Jimmy's journey. A single father's story of strength, love, and hope. Jimmy's old alarm clock buzzed loudly in the dark. He reached out quickly to stop the noise. It was 5 a.m., the start of another busy day. The room was cold, and his feet touched the icy wooden floor as he stood up. His body was tired, but his mind was ready. Jimmy walked quietly to the small kitchen. He didn't want to wake his children, Max and Lily, who were still asleep in their shared room. He opened the fridge and saw a few eggs and a loaf of bread. It wasn't much, but it would be enough for breakfast. He cracked the eggs into a bowl and whisked them, thinking about the day ahead. Delivering pizzas, taking care of the kids, and studying for his business course. It was a lot, but he had no choice. As the eggs cooked, Lily's small voice called from behind him. "Daddy," she said, holding her stuffed bunny tightly. Her hair was messy, and her eyes were still sleepy. Jimmy turned around and smiled. "Good morning, princess. Breakfast is almost ready. Go wash your face and wake up your brother." Lily nodded and ran off. Soon, Max appeared, already wearing his school uniform. He rubbed his eyes and yawned. "Eggs again?" he asked, sitting at the table. "Eggs are good for you," Jimmy said with a chuckle. He served the scrambled eggs and toast on 2 plates and set them on the table. "Eat up. You need energy for school." After breakfast, Jimmy helped them get ready. He packed their lunch bags, made sure their homework was in their school bags, and walked them to school. At the school gate, he gave them each a big hug. "Have a great day," he said, waving as they ran inside. Jimmy got on his old bike, which he used for delivering pizzas. The bike's chain rattled, and the seat was uncomfortable, but it was all he had. His first delivery of the day was to an office downtown. He pedaled hard, weaving through traffic and trying to avoid potholes. When he arrived, a receptionist at the front desk greeted him coldly. She barely looked at him as she signed the receipt. "Thank you," Jimmy said politely, even though she didn't reply. He turned and left, heading to the next delivery. The hours passed quickly. Some customers were kind, giving him tips and smiles. Others were impatient or rude, making him feel invisible. But Jimmy never complained. He needed this job to support his family. By lunchtime, Jimmy stopped to eat a quick sandwich he had packed earlier. He sat on a bench in the park, watching families play and laugh. It reminded him of Max and Lily. He promised himself that one day, they would have a better life. At home that evening, Jimmy sat at the small kitchen table with his laptop. His children were in the living room, working on their homework. Jimmy was studying an online business course. He wanted to learn how to run a restaurant, his lifelong dream. Lily walked over, holding a drawing. "Look, Daddy," she said, showing him the picture. It was a drawing of their family standing in front of a big restaurant. The sign on the building said, "Jimmy's Diner." Jimmy's heart swelled with pride and hope. "That's beautiful, Lily. Do you really think I can do it?" Lily nodded. "You're the best cook ever." Max looked up from his homework. "But how will we get the money, Dad?" he asked, his voice full of doubt. Jimmy sighed. "One step at a time, son. We'll figure it out." One rainy afternoon, Jimmy delivered a pizza to a small Italian restaurant. The owner, Mr. Russo, greeted him warmly. Mr. Russo was an older man with a thick accent and a kind smile. "You work very hard," Mr. Russo said, noticing Jimmy's tired face. "I have to," Jimmy replied. "I have 2 kids to take care of." Mr. Russo nodded. "Have you ever thought about running your own restaurant?" Jimmy's eyes widened. "Every day," he admitted. "But it feels impossible." "Nothing is impossible," Mr. Russo said. "I started with nothing. Just a dream and hard work. You can do it too." A week later, Jimmy's friend told him about an old food cart for sale. It was cheap but needed repairs. Buying it would use all of Jimmy's savings. He stayed up all night thinking about it. At the kitchen table, he showed a picture of the cart to Max and Lily. "Should I buy it?" he asked. Lily nodded quickly. "Yes, Daddy. You can do it." Max hesitated. "But what if it doesn't work?" Jimmy smiled. "If we don't try, we'll never know. Sometimes, we have to take risks." Jimmy bought the cart and spent weeks fixing it. He painted it bright red and added a sign that said, "Jimmy's Eats." He started selling food in a busy park. At first, business was slow, but little by little, people began to notice him. One night, he came to the park to find the cart vandalized. The windows were broken, and supplies were stolen. Jimmy felt like giving up. He sat on the ground, tears in his eyes. Max and Lily found him there. "We can fix this, Dad," Max said, determination in his voice. Their neighbors came to help. They brought tools and supplies, and together, they repaired the cart. Jimmy's hope was renewed. Jimmy's food cart grew popular. One day, Mr. Russo visited and was impressed by Jimmy's hard work. "You're ready for the next step," he said, and offered to help Jimmy open a small restaurant. With Mr. Russo's guidance, Jimmy learned how to manage a business. He worked day and night, saving money and planning every detail of the restaurant. The day finally came. Jimmy opened Jimmy's Diner. On opening night, the diner was packed. Lily performed a ballet dance for the crowd, and Max showed his science project. Jimmy looked around, his heart full of pride. "We did it," he said softly, tears in his eyes. One evening, after closing the diner, Jimmy sat with Max and Lily. "Dreams are like seeds," he said. "If you take care of them and never give up, they grow into something beautiful. Always believe in yourself." Lily hugged him. "You're the best dad ever." Max smiled. "And the best cook." Jimmy laughed, knowing that together, they had built a life full of love and hope. And that's the inspiring story of Jimmy. A reminder that love, kindness, and determination can light the way even in the darkest times. If you enjoyed this story, share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for more uplifting stories like this one. Thank you for watching. See you next time for another inspiring story. Let's learn, grow, and enjoy stories together.